Alright, I'm working on the motorized bike again. Hold on, let me kill the music. Alright, so I've been hole sawing. I cut out what I thought I was gonna use. These two pieces. Alright, so this is what I got here. I just cleaned them up on the belt sander, whatnots. But I mean, I'm still gonna, you know, round these ends out, make it look much better. But now you can see what I'm talking about. You know, perfect fit to weld to. So then wherever, you know, the engine lands on here, I can just have it bolt. I'm gonna trim these brackets up because I don't need all that. That's a lot of just extra weight for nothing. They don't have to be that thick. I might, you know, cut out a little design or something. Maybe drill some holes in it, kind of like I did this. Throw a couple little race holes in there. But yeah, so I'm gonna trim it down so it looks good when it meets up to the engine here. And yeah, I guess I'll cut you back on when I figure out what I come up with. So I can drill some holes and make the motor mounts, but I'm gonna grind this because there's a decent little lip on the other one, so I'm gonna grind it down, make them even, and then I'll just grind that off a little bit right there. Drill both the holes before I do all that, but I'll cut you back on when I do that. Alright, this is what I got so far. So I drilled it, 2 holes to both plates, matched them on this side too, so that way they're even, matched them all around. Now I just have to drill the I guess weight reduction holes. I know my hole looks a little offset, but I mean, I don't think it'll really matter either way. I'm gonna put a little shim in here, a nylon washer, to shim that little space, so this will just set up and it can just kind of set like that right over by the engine. I didn't want to take too much material off here, but I'm gonna use the drill press here. Probably just, you know, I don't know, maybe 2 holes here or something. Not too big, but decent size. Try to lighten this up. I thought about maybe doing like a half circle here on each side, and then just you know, cut it out with the grinder and then kind of give it that little, make it look, we'll see. Yeah, I might put a hole here and a hole here and then cut this out around them. But I'll cut you back on when I do that. All right. This is what I got now. I lighten them up so that way more speed. That's how it is right there. They're not 100% on the corners, but hey, everything ain't perfect, but it'll work. I mean, I'll send it. So now I'm gonna bolt it up to the motor, put my nylon bushings and see how it sits on the bike. I kind of wish I didn't. I guess if I fine-tuned it more. But yeah, so I'm going to stick this on there with some nylon shims that I have. Stick it on there, and then we'll see what it looks like on that bottom bracket. I'll cut you back on when I get it up there. All right, after a hot mess of filing, drilling, destroyed my workbench, got a disaster out. Either way, this is what I got so far. It's just kind of cradled up in there. Just a rough mock-up. I might throw the pipe on. It's a little offset. Sorry, it's a little offset from the frame, but I mean, when I look down at it, it's kind of hard to tell. When I look down at it, it doesn't look uneven. But yeah, no, I got the bracket in. I got a temporary bolt just holding it together. Just sitting on there. It's probably where it'll end up being, and I'll end up making another bolt bracket to go here, fabricate something to the frame over here to hold it, possibly make a triangular piece, I think. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But yeah, that's it so far. Our little brackets, I didn't cut them 100% perfect, but I had to cut it more on this side to make it clear the case of the motor. But yeah, no, I'm gonna get a drink of water because I'm thirsty and sweating, and then I'm going to possibly tack weld that on there and see. Oh no, I need to line up the chain first and see. I can already see I got a big problem. Way off. So I might have to swing the motor more, we'll see. I'll play with it here in another minute. I will cut you back on whenever I line the chain up more. All right. Alright, this is the next day from the last clip yesterday, so today's Sunday. I just changed up everything. I'll flip it over, still got my mess everywhere. I gotta pull my truck out. I cut up these. This was basically the other bracket. I just chopped it up, whatever it used to be, but it don't look anything like it now. But it was just too tall, too long, wasn't gonna work, wasn't any which way I kept trying to swing it, it didn't clear. So let me shut this fan off. Yeah, either way, anyway, I tried to swing this bracket, that first one that I made, it just wouldn't clear. Plus, I wasn't happy with the way that I cut it, and it just wasn't shaped good. It didn't look good. So, yeah, I just got a piece of this flat bar that I had over there. It's much thinner, but I'll probably just end up boxing it in. Yeah, shaped that up, and I made 2 pieces already for the front engine mount. And then last night I thought I was making one that was going to work with wherever I put it. I thought it was going to work with, I think it's in here. No. I thought it was going to work with this bicycle mount wherever I put it. I don't know where I put it, but I have a bicycle mount that like clamps onto the frame. Thought it was going to work with that. That's too long itself also, so I'm gonna have to just end up fabricating my own and probably just weld it to the frame. I think I was thinking about it yesterday, and I'm gonna be able to adjust the chain with the rear tire. I ordered these a while back, these banjo adjusters, so that'll be sweet. I'll just be able to sling them on there and tighten the chain up, keep it snug, more secure, looks sweet. But yeah, no, so I'm going to pull the truck out so I can actually walk. I thought it was on the bike. And then I'll pull the bike out and assess what I need to do for the rear, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, here it is. This is what I was trying to make work. I made a mount for this, and I was gonna nut rivet it, you know, with 2 like M6, I think they were. I was gonna hit it with these set right here, and nut rivet these into my plate that I made, but the plate is too, the little arms that connect to the motor are too long. This piece is too long once it's on the frame, so it's got to be cocked like that, and it's not really, yeah, it don't really work for my application, so I'm going to try to do something different. But yeah, I'll cut you back on whenever I get the truck out of here, or I'll just leave it running. We'll see. Get this thing out of here. I'll pull it forward. Hopefully this is, there we go. Cool, ka-choo. So I had a problem with the chain alignment because the sprocket back here, I got to get a new front sprocket. I don't know what the pitch is on this, but for some reason it's not fitting the 415 chain, so I ordered a 415 pitch sprocket. But either way, I had to, I mean, I don't know if this spacer is 100% yet. It's just there for the time being, but let's see if I can get it there. Yeah, that spacer there. It's to offset my motor, so that way everything stays in line, like the spark plug and everything centered up with the frame. I mean, it's a little offset right now because it's not bolted, but I had to make these brackets here. That's out of that flat bar. Obviously the pipe's touching right now, but when I swing it forward and angle this where I want it, the pipe clears the gusset here in the frame, and then also in the back the filters, it floats freely, so it doesn't touch anything, which is perfect. That's what I want. Man. But the thing that I have to do here is I'm gonna have to extend this bracket here and bring it down over to here. Last night I was trying to think of, you know, a good way to design that, and I'm thinking somehow I use this to, I'm gonna cut a, you know, I don't have a tubing notcher, so I'm gonna get something close to this diameter, a little bit, like an inch or whatever it is. I think it's 1 inch. But either way, I think I might cut 2 small pieces to fit into here to go in between the tube. It'll be flat, and then, you know, we'll have to redo this here or something. Either that, or I just add on to this bad boy and swing it where I want it, and then make 2 other pieces to go to the frame here, and then box it in. I kind of wanted to make it removable, but I guess it doesn't really have to be. But yeah, so far, I mean, the motor sits in there the way that I have it. I just have to finalize up some things. I ended up using those little circles that I cut out with the hole saw on both sides of the crank. I think I'm gonna just stick with that, and maybe I'll weld these arms to it and then bolt all this together, and or just weld around this piece, this piece that I cut out, a little fill cap, whatever you want to call it. Maybe I'll weld that in and then weld this onto there, and I don't know. I don't think I'll end up, I thought about putting foot pegs here, but the ones that I have are pretty short, so I don't know how that would look. I mean, you know, if I put I guess I couldn't. Well, I guess I could. Before I put all this in, I could weld this or bolt this in and then just screw on my pegs, but that's just pretty short. I'd have to extend it out for sure, like over to here, so. But then it'd still be on this side. It would suck because the pipe, it'd have to be like way out here. But it was either that, or I was thinking of coming up with some mounts like over here or over here or something. I'm gonna have to make a little chain guard-ish, maybe. Sometimes I like living on the wild side. But no, this was just the remainings of what I got to do. I still got to hook up the back brake for the, I had to relocate it and put it to the other side, so I literally have to make this same mount to be able to mount my brake on the opposite side of the bike, because originally this used to be the brake side and that was the drive side, but obviously with the dirt bike motor it's on the other side, and yeah, we just didn't get that lucky. So I'm going to pull or maybe take a couple measurements and see about this real quick to make a piece for the frame. Yeah, I'm thinking about just seeing if I can notch out maybe even a piece of the flat bar. I know this is too steep here. I know this is too short. Yeah, too small. I need a bigger notch, but you know, maybe I can use this way to rip it. I'm still like looking at the pipe thinking how I'm gonna cut it here, if I should, you know, leave it where the pipe's kind of just kicking out the back, the little silencer, you know. I don't know. I kind of like how like it kind of goes with the frame over here, but then it, I mean, if it was like right here and I had it just bead lining right down the back, that'd be cool too. Alright, I figured I'd just get this on video. I just take this washer here because it fits basically perfect inside the motor wherever they recessed it for the mount. So I just take that, stick it here on my metal flat bar, Sharpie it out, and then I'll end up bringing it over here and just working it on my grinder. Sometimes I use the bandsaw and just make it quick and then grind it out. That's probably what I'll do here. But I'll end up duplicating this, making two of them. This, just longer, and then I, you know, drill these holes for their little cricket, which that annoyed me. So yeah, I'm not gonna use that, but I'll end up doing all this and then I'll cut you back on. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, so yeah. From that to that to that. I mean, it's a little bit smaller, but hey, I'll take it. Give me a little play so that way I can swing it, you know? Figure out where I want to put this, where it looks clean, and then I don't want to have it angled in like that. I just assume to keep it kind of straight out. I mean, you know, even, and then if I needed to, I could put like a chain guide here, or you know, I could use this possibly as an adjuster, possibly. I say possibly, very vague. So I'll cut you back on when I make two of these, drill the holes, have it cut, and have it somewhere mounted. Alright, so I got my piece made. I just have it tack welded in like 2 places on each side. I got washers as like little shims in there between the motor. It fits perfect, both sides. I just got you know, obviously finish weld in there, weld there. I'm gonna weld around this back side before I gusset all this in with the little 2 pieces of flat bar that I'll probably end up using like that, something like that. But I was able to remove all the clamps. That's the clearance I have for the filter, and then that's my clearance for my muffler. So I was able to keep everything factory, and I didn't have to chop and clock the muffler, you know, 3 different ways. I've had to do that a couple times, especially over here on the go-kart. I had to cut that 3 different ways and then be able to swing it and make it dump out the back like that, because this is a KX100 and the pipe was like, yeah. So yeah, basically I have to come up with my if I'm gonna just weld this and then bolt this motor, this bracket in, so that way I can just have it all removable, which I think I might do. But My glove got into the weld there. I'm gonna have to grind that out. But yeah, so far it's sitting basically just how I want it. Now I just have to finalize up some stuff. Alright, so this is what I've made so far now for the rear mount. It's welded in, my little support. I'm gonna box this in, I think, on top and bottom, weld it in, cap it off. Probably do something here also to go across here to help this support. Contemplating on doing something down below, because I do have to kickstart this. I don't know how bad it'll be, but maybe just something to give it a little more. We'll see. That's the rear. The front, I had to space it out to bring the motor more over in line with the frame. So now when you look down at it, I mean, it's basically, I don't know if I can show you on the, it's hard to see, but the chain lined up the best this way without rubbing on the rear end of the bike. I gotta cut the chain, but I'm waiting on the sprocket to come before I cut it, the right pitch one. But the clearance for the carburetor, I mean, I got a new boot. It's just in my box of things, but I'm gonna throw a new boot on here. Hopefully it won't break it again, but I got it where it's clearance the carb pretty good. And then the exhaust, both sides, top and bottom, clearance, so I don't have to chop, clock, and do all that. I try to make it as simple as I could. I just did a couple tack welds here on my little holes that I cut, and then used these that flat bar and just made two little supports and then offset the motor. So yeah, that's what it looks like right now for the time being. I still need to cut the, well, I'll probably just leave this on, I think, or just cut it smooth, but I need to make something identical to this on the other side to pick up the brake. For the rear brakes, I already have the front on. The front's fine. I just gotta reroute it through here, so I'll have to disassemble it, and then reroute it back through there so it runs through that. Man, it's hot. But yeah, I got clearance for the coolant and the spark plug. It's basically a roller now. I just have to mount up the radiator, which I'm thinking I'm gonna do it something close to like that or so. Probably at an angle a little bit, probably drop it down so, you know, I mean, it won't matter if it's up over here or, you know, even up over here. But yeah, I mean, I just got to go to Home Depot and get some flat bar, some more flat bar, so that way I can make some more mounts and stuff. I used all of everything that I have, and today's Sunday. And I'll probably just do it tomorrow when I'm doing something for work. But yeah, I want to get this video out hopefully today and be able to upload it. So I'll be cutting a lot of other clips that I did work on with this into this video. So stay tuned, keep an eye out. I'll be working on this here soon because most of my other projects are coming together. This Honda Express runs, and then I have one more little spree over here that I'm building, and then the shifter cart underneath there. I got another shifter cart over there too that I'm thinking about swapping on that 250 motor, the V-twin or something. But yeah, stay tuned, keep an eye out. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.